Emily's joining us for the press review. She is starting today with a look at the American press in the aftermath, of course, of the death of Alex Pretti.
Yeah, well, of course, this has been all over the pages worldwide and now on most American front pages still. Let's have a look at Politico first. They have this article here calling it a battle over the truth here as federal and local leaders blame each other for the fatal shooting. The article describes the fundamentally different interpretations of what happened before the ICU nurse was shot. Well, a quick look here at Fox News will demonstrate quite how different some people are taking this situation. This is the headline here: the far left network that helped put Alex Pretti in harm's way and then made him a martyr. The paper says that socialist and communist groups were leading a nationwide protest operation. Now, Alex Pretti's death has pushed most papers to publish opinion pieces by their editorial boards to make their stance on the situation clear. Let's have a look first at the Washington Post. This is their editorial board opinion piece here. It calls on Congress to step in and stop the president from overreaching on immigration. The New York Times also has their editorial board working full-time here today. The Trump administration is lying to our faces. It also calls on Congress to act. It says that Congress could hold the Trump administration accountable by controlling federal spending. Now let's have a look at the Wall Street Journal. Their editorial board is usually quite conservative, but today it's calling for an ICE pause in Minneapolis. The article says that Trump's immigration enforcement is backfiring against Republicans and says that, quote, Americans don't want law enforcement shooting people in the streets or arresting 5-year-old boys. Now, staying on the right of the press, finally, with the New York Post. Now, the New York Post is a Trump-supporting tabloid. It usually stands by the president regardless of what he seems to do. But today, it's urging the president to de-escalate the situation. The paper's editorial board addresses the president directly and says these enforcement tactics are backfiring and quotes, swing voters, Hispanics and independents who turned to you at the last election see US citizens dying at federal agents' hands and recoil in horror.
Iran for this next story. More testimonies of the state's brutal repression are getting some coverage as estimations of the casualties continue to rise.
Yeah, that's right. The real scale of the brutality of the Iranian regime during recent protests seems to be trickling through in the press. Now, this is an article in the Times here which reports that the death toll could be over 30,000, according to two officials from Iran's Ministry of Health. Now, those two officials also told the magazine that so many people were killed that the country was struggling to dispose of the dead and that the state had also run out of body bags. The New York Times is also covering this story. It has this report here looking at how Iran crushed a citizen uprising with lethal force. The article uses verified videos and interviews to show that government forces systematically opened fire into crowds and killing hundreds as they did. The Washington Post also covering their own article on this story here using visual forensics. It's looking at one specific event in particular where security forces gunned down protesters trying to escape a fire in a burning market in Rasht in the north of the country. And finally, on this story, The Guardian has this article here. It's an anonymous piece by an Iranian surgeon who said that, quotes, the violence did not look like policing. It felt like wartime rules applied to civilians. The surgeon also adds that what took place was far beyond what the public had been told and that most of it happened under the cover of darkness.
To the UK now. Prime Minister Keir Starmer and his Labour Party in turmoil. What's this on?
Well, this is all over the British front pages. Let's have a look at the front page this morning of The Guardian here. It's talking about a civil war in the Labour Party. The Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, has been blocked from standing as a candidate to become Minister of Parliament, effectively delaying his rumoured Labour Party coup, as many people see him as a potential challenger to the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. The Daily Express also running this story on their front page here today, also talking about a party at war. The paper says that senior Labour Party figures have now accused Keir Starmer of cowardice in the face of a potential leadership contest. And finally on this, The Daily Telegraph has Andy Burnham there on their front page. It discusses a letter written by Labour backbenchers who say that the move was a stitch-up. The paper says that although banning Burnham will protect the Prime Minister, the plan could also backfire if either Reform or the Green Party win the seat that Andy Burnham was going to be standing for.
Finally from Emily, something a bit more cheerful for you. A new world record has been broken. It's in the world of sailing, isn't it?
Exactly. It's actually a supersonic world record, if the front page of Aujourd'hui en France is to be believed. Frenchman Thomas Coville and his crew won the Jules Verne Trophy for the fastest unassisted circumnavigation of the globe. They managed to sail around the world in 40 days, 10 hours and 45 minutes, beating the previous 2017 record by almost 13 hours. Quite an impressive record.
Very impressive pictures as well. Well done to him and the rest of the team. Of course, Emily, thanks a lot. Emily with the papers on France 24. More news after the break.